Oh, what's going on, guys? HK Titan here with a brand new video for you guys. But first things first, as always, hope you guys are having an amazing day. So in today's video, we're going to go ahead and go over the brand new update, Update 27, which out of all of the updates that Ninja Kiwi has dropped, this is by far the biggest update that I have personally seen. So with this update, we are going to get the boss balloon, Bloonarius, and we are also going to get the two Paragon towers, which is going to be the Dart Paragon on the left and the Boomerang Paragon on the right. Along with getting these three items, we are also going to be getting a bunch of new trophy store items. We're also going to get a bunch of balance changes. On top of that, we're going to get some new achievements and rewards. And then finally, of course, we're going to get the long-awaited co-op rejoining. So if you guys DC from a co-op game, you guys will be able to rejoin back. So the first thing that I want to go over, we'll go ahead and go over the trophy store items first. Then we'll jump into the achievements. Then we'll jump into the paragons. And then we'll finish things off with the boss balloon. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at is we are going to take a look at the trophy store items first. Right away, I do like a couple of things that I see. The bucket hat balloons looks really cool. The water balloon FX, I haven't actually seen either of these in game yet, but these are definitely a couple of things that I definitely want to get as soon as I possibly can. I already wasted a little bit of my money on the Spirit Wolf banner and the Neon DT balloon because of course these two really spoke out to me and definitely something that I want to get first. The next thing that also looks really cool is the Gwen fireball intro. So when she pops on the screen, she'll come in on a fireball, which I think is going to look really cool as well. But now that we went ahead and went over all of the trophy store items, let's go ahead and jump into the new achievements. So right away with the achievements, we did get a couple of brand new achievements added to the game. The first one is going to be what's new in Bloonary. We're going to also have who's the boss, I'm the boss, like a boss, and apotheosis. All of the boss achievements are all for the boss balloons. So like a boss is to pop 50 boss balloons. Then you have some of the harder ones, which is defeat a tier 5 boss, and then defeat a tier 5 elite boss. And then we have what's new, which is going to be defeat a tier 1 boss. And apotheosis is going to be upgrading a monkey to the Paragon Tower. So now that we went ahead and went over all of the achievements, so let's go ahead and jump into some of the balance changes really quick, and then we'll go ahead and get into the long-awaited paragons and the boss balloon after that. Alright guys, here we are with the updates notes for the version 20.7. Now we're going to go ahead and go over just the balance changes because there are quite a few patch notes that I don't want to bore you guys with. So if it's something that you guys would actually want to look into, I recommend checking Reddit or someplace like that to get all of the official patch notes. The main thing that I want to focus on are the balance changes. So right away, the 500 damage over time damage increase from 10 to 100. So that means the Boomerang Monkey top path is actually going to be a lot stronger. On top of that, the Bionic Boomerang also got a little bit of a buff. Let's also talk about the Ice Monkey. So the Ice Monkey also got a really good price buff, dropping it from 26,000 down to 20,000. This actually puts it in range for it being effective in using to be used in a lot of Chimps games. Next thing, we're going to talk about the monkey sub. So it looks like the first strike got hit with a little bit of a nerf. It's actually going to, I don't know if it's going to affect it too much. I haven't had a chance to test out just yet, but I don't think it's going to be too effective. Or it's going to affect it too much. The monkey ace also got a pretty decent buff to where you can actually set where the center path function is on the map. So opposed to it just automatically defaulting to circling in the center of the map, you can now position where you want the monkey ace to actually circle around. Next thing is going to be the heli pilot, just a little bit of a quality of a life feature. Now I want to talk about the mortar monkey because it looks like the 040 artillery battery now has a new ability called bombardment, which for 8 seconds the attack rate is increased by 4 times and the blast radius increased by 15% with a cooldown of 60 seconds. On top of that, the signal flares seem to get a little bit of a buff too. It seems like now it has the larger AoE opposed to the small AoE that it previously had. The wizard monkey did not get, the wizard monkey did not get a nerf yet. The 040 wizard now copies the targeting of the wizard. So if your wizard's set to strong, the Phoenix is now going to target the strong balloons. Now let's talk about the Robo Monkey. Now I feel like this is the monkey, or the Middle Pass Super Monkey hasn't received a lot of love, but now it officially has received that buff that it definitely needed. So the first thing is that the 030 Robo Monkey now has the ability to crit balloons, kind of like the way that the Crossbow Master does, but instead of the Crossbow Master is now the Middle Path Super Monkey. On top of that, it has the anti-balloon crits occur every 17 shots. The anti-balloon crits deal damage increase from 5 to 50. That's actually insane. So now the anti-balloon gunner is finally starting to receive that, or get that buff that it definitely needed to get. The Ninja Monkey also received quite a bit of a buff, and now the sticky bombs will actually follow your target priority. So if you want your Ninja Monkey to target strong, the sticky bombs will now target the strongest balloon on the field. On top of that, the sticky bombs and the Master Bombers will now have a AoE effect, to where it's going to deal a massive amount more damage. So I think the Master Bomber and the sticky bombs might actually be a path to worth going now. Now onto the Druid. Finally, guys. Finally. The Spirit of the Forest finally got an upgrade that I thought it deserved. And now the Druid is might actually be a viable tower to start using in Chimps mode, because it actually got a massive damage increase to the thorns that it lays on the tracks. On top of that, the Avatar of Wrath got a buff too, to where now it actually makes sense to go the top pathway with the Avatar of Wrath, whereas before it never really made sense to do that. The Middle Path Monkey Bank got a little bit of a nerf, so you can no longer deposit into Monkey Banks. Now you need to upgrade them to the IMF loan before you can actually deposit into the banks, which is something I feel like should have been implemented quite a long time ago. The Spike Storm ability will no longer benefit from increased rate of fire. Okay, Adora. Guys, I was just talking about this the other day. Adora got another buff. Thank you, Ninja Kiwi, for doing this, because she definitely needed to be put back on the radar. Now her level 7 sacrifice now gives quite a big buff to Adora. And not only does she buff herself, but she also buffs the temples and all of those fun towers. So they're also going to be getting a massive buff, and it actually makes sense to use the sacrifice to get that little bit of extra attack speed, and it also buffs at level 20 as well. Pickle Brickle got hit with a little bit of a nerf. Not too, or it doesn't seem like it's going to be too crazy of a nerf. It's just a small delay. And then finally, my girl Sada got hit with a little bit of a nerf, guys. Like, actually, I don't want to say a little bit of a nerf. I think this is actually going to be a big nerf, to where she's no longer going to be able to be super effective late game like she has been in the past, which I still haven't tested her out, so I don't know if she's going to be a viable hero for late game. I think she might be, or she might start falling under the same category as like Quincy. Next thing is going to be a small buff to the powers, to where now the time stop power will now affect bad balloons, which is something that I feel is kind of makes sense, because if you want to use powers, then I feel like the powers that you use should be able to affect bad balloons, but that's just for the people who actually want to use them. And then here are the temple and free play stuff. Like, there's nothing too crazy going on here. It's just going over a couple of nerfs and buffs that they added to the 5/5 towers before, or the 5/5 towers. So the 5/5 Super Monkey base attack damage now reduced from 75 to 50. The Super Monkey attack multiplier for sacrifice power reduced from 3 times to 2 times, which is actually quite a big nerf to the Vengeful Sun God. But it kind of makes sense, because now that we have the Paragons added to the mix, like, now it's not only the Vengeful Sun God for late game. Now you have the option to go with the Dart Monkey Paragon, and you have the option to go with the Boomerang Paragon as well. So now it's going to be 3 super strong towers in the late game, opposed to just having 1 super strong tower in the late game. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the balance changes. Let's go ahead and move on to, let's go ahead and move on to what you guys are waiting for, and let's go ahead and check out the Paragons and the Boss Balloons. Alright, guys, and now onto the Paragons. So the first thing that I want you guys to know is that if you guys are currently trying to summon the Paragons in sandbox mode, you will not be able to do so. In order to actually summon the Paragons, you need to either be playing in a normal game, or you need to be playing in the challenge editor to actually be able to get the 2 towers. The next thing that I want you guys to know is that you need to have all of the tier 5s unlocked. Then you guys will get the option to unlock the 5/5/5 tower, aka the Apex Plasma Master, or the Glaive Dominus. On top of that, you guys will need to have a additional 500,000 experience in order to unlock the Apex Plasma Master, and you guys will also need to have 500,000 experience on your Boomerang Monkey in order to unlock the Glaive Dominus. So now that we went ahead and covered that, the next thing that I want to go over is how do you actually get the Glaive Dominus and the Dart Monkey Paragon. So with the Dart Monkey, all you need to do, like, it's not super crazy. There isn't any tips or tricks. The only thing you need to do in order to summon a level 1 Paragon is just get all of the tier 5 Dart Monkeys on the field, and then just click the Apex Plasma Master, which is going to cost $378,000 on hard mode. And once you guys do this, you guys will get the upgrade to Paragon notification. You press do it, and then you guys will officially have the Paragon on the field. Now, the next thing that I want you guys to know, and this goes for both the Boomerang Paragon and the Dart Paragon, there is something called a Paragon degree. Now, this degree goes from 1 all the way up to level 100, and I'm currently still trying to figure out exactly how to get it to level 100. Currently, the highest I've been able to make it is all the way up to level 78, and I'm going to go ahead and go over that with you guys really quick and how I managed to get up to level 78. So in order to level up your Paragon, it's going to be based off of 2 things. The first thing is going to be how many pops your main towers have, and this is all from like stuff that I've gathered over spending the last 5 hours playing with or messing around with the Paragons. So it's highly dependent on how many total pops your tier 5 towers have. So say your Dart Monkeys have 0 pops like they have right now. If you place them all down and you get them up to roughly like between 1 million to 5 million pops, then that's when your Paragon is starting to level up more and more. The next factor is going to be highly dependent on how much money you have in other towers on the field. So basically what I mean by that is, say you have like 30 of the Dart Monkeys placed down like so. That's going to account for a bunch of levels in the Paragon as well. So I'm not going to go through the entire process of like going for the higher levels with the Paragon. I just want to give you guys like a basic understanding and what I've learned over the past couple of hours on how the actual Paragon works. So it's based off of how many pops the Dart Monkeys as a whole have and how much money you spend on the Dart Monkeys as well. As you guys can see, they all have 0 pops, but opposed to being at level 1 like it was when we previously did this, you guys will see that opposed to starting off at level 1, you guys will actually start off at a much higher level. So right away we're going to be able to sacrifice more, and now opposed to starting off at level 1, we are starting off at level 33. And don't get me wrong, like level 33 still isn't that great. So just remember, like the level is going to scale off of how much money you spend on the Dart Monkeys as a whole, and of course how many pops your tier 5 towers and all of the Dart Monkeys on the field have. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for all the information that I currently have on the Paragon. As soon as I find out more information, I will be sure to let you guys know. But now that we went ahead and went over the Paragons, let's go ahead and jump into the boss Bloons. So now onto the boss Bloons. So currently we only know of 1 boss in the game, but it seems like the boss balloon is going to be a event style boss. So I don't know if it's going to be weekly or if it's going to come and go, kind of like a special event that only pops up occasionally, which I hope that's not what it is. I hope it's like a Odyssey style thing. I would have much rather see this as a game mode itself, but we got to deal with what we have. The next thing is that we are going to have 2 different game modes to choose from. We are going to have the normal mode and we are going to have the elite mode. Right away, I managed to make it up to the tier 5 on normal mode, which this is actually a lot harder than I initially thought it would be. But I think I finally have a way to actually deal with it. So the first thing that I would like to say is that I'm going to go ahead and go with Captain Churchill, because I feel like Captain Churchill does a great job at dealing with some of the ceramic balloons. On top of that, you can focus more on farming. So right away with this, like I'm not going to do like the entire event, but what I will say is that you guys need to farm a lot. And you guys need to make sure that you guys are prepared, because the boss balloon will come out on round 40, on round 60, on round 80, round 100, and then I think on round 120 as well. And this is going to scale until it gets harder and harder. I will be doing some boss events live stream, like I will be doing one tomorrow. So if that's something that you guys would like to see done, feel free to stop by the live stream tomorrow. I will be streaming on YouTube, showing you guys how to beat the boss, or at least giving my best attempt at beating the boss. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the 27.0 update. If you guys enjoyed this vid, please feel free to hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe as well. I do upload quite a bit of Bloons Tower Defense 6 content. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's vid. You guys already know what time it is. I hope you guys have the most amazing day of your lives. And I will see you guys in the next one.